Hi, John Marshall, the DrillMaster. This is the Attestation Parade of Class 360, and Class 364 has their Attestation Parade coming up soon. And I tell you what, let me do this. Hold on, I'm going to pause this. Okay, just wanted to bring this up. So this is what attestation means. Now, for us in America, we don't have attestation parades, but the attestation is the act or instance of attesting something, such as approving of the existence of something through evidence and official verification of something as true or authentic. It's uh, a graduation um, parade for the New South Wales Police. New South Wales being in Australia. Move that back there. There we go. All right, so that's an attestation parade. And I've got the New South Wales Police Academy attestation parade format right next to me here, and I've read through it. so, and I've been working with Constable Mayor Jared Mayer, who it's been an interesting journey working with you, Jared. It's really been quite a learning experience for me. And even though I don't know Commonwealth drill to the nth degree, I can still give uh, my my 2 cents, as it were, my input for the parade, and that's what Constable Mayor has asked for. So here we go. The troops are lined up as per the order here,
Ladies and
and then
gentlemen, your
the
First Officer
band.
Chief Superintendent Toby Lindsay is now arriving from the eastern side of the parade ground. He's escorting Commissioner Karen Webb, the Commissioner's executive team and the Commander, People and Capability Command.
The leading officials for New South Wales Police. Interesting that awards are worn on both sides. I wonder what uh, what the significance is there. But let's skip ahead. We're not going to go
Police has
through
the
every
distinction
minute.
of being the world's oldest continuous mounted police, which has served both the
There we
colony of New
go.
South
Here's
Wales
arm swing
and
here.
the state of New South Wales since
So you can see
1825.
some timing issues
The New South
and
Wales
also
Police
some
Band
technique
is
issues.
being led
And
by
I've
drum
watched
major
this
Brendan
before.
Champion. The director of music is Mr. John.
Of course, it doesn't pause when I want it to. I tried to time it well, but you can see. So she's quite ahead, but you can see most everybody is in the same position during the swing. It's an interesting phenomenon in that I'm getting over a cold, so I apologize. So the extent of the swing up should be, and with the so Americans, we have that neutral wrist, and for Commonwealth drill, the thumb is pushed forward so that there's a nice straight long line there for the arm swing, and then the arm is to come up to horizontal, and but the at the extent, the apex of the swing to the front, you can see that there is a vast difference in timing with
Saunders.
some of the people, but also you can see technique as well in that some of the of course it just doesn't do that. I can't get it to do it. Um, but you can see in the technique there, some are closer to horizontal and some are not. So you can see the arms here, over there. I'm going to try and get these right arms. Here we go. Boy. Well, let's look at this though. So her arm is pretty much down to her side, while we have these others with the arm forward and then quite a bit forward on some of them. So it's that's mainly through timing, but there also is that technique in there. So when we can see here the leader of the formation with the white gloves, he's going pretty much horizontal, while the others are not. Many of the others. Oh, nice. So I don't know um, why they have lances, but it's still interesting. Mounted police. I like that. But here we can see a couple of now. There's going to be some who just don't get the uh, the ins and outs of marching in cadence. It just happens.
Each unit is under the command of a class member. Unit 1 is under the command of student Leah Ubel.
If they would have kept that head on, I would have talked about it a little more. But you can see her her backswing is also quite high, but nobody else's is. So the wide variation of technique, at least for me, sticks out quite a bit. But then you also have, I believe it was, I don't know, I believe it was her. So on her on her swing back, her arm went out instead of back. The swing forward, I don't know if it went in. I wasn't. I saw the backswing coming way out that way, and so a definition of the parameters of the arm swing, since it's such a large arm swing. You know, we Americans, we have a very very
Unit 2
conservative
is under
arm
the
swing
command of
comparatively.
student Liam Hageman.
But you can see everybody else is coming down really either to the trouser seam or about 6 inches past. Excuse me. I apologize for that. Let's see where the backswing comes. Some are at about 10 inches. Let's see if we can see that one head on again. But then the young lady who's in front of that formation, I'm not sure if it's her,
Each unit is under
but
the
it's
command of a
quite
class
possible.
member.
So here we go.
Unit 1 is under the command of
There we
student
are.
Leah Ubel.
So if you saw, and so there's it might be a camera angle. I'm not sure if her shoulders are square with the camera, but you could see her right at least coming in, and then and I'll back it up just a hair there. And I'm picking on her, and I don't mean to specifically, um, but
Each
I
unit
just
is under the
noticed this
command of a class member. Unit 1
with
is
her
under the
arm swing.
command of student Leah
So
Ubel.
yeah, both of her arms come in, and at least her right is going out, but it looks like the left was actually going back. Um, as and so the outward swing,
Unit 2 is under the
but
command
then
of
also
student
look
Liam
at
Hageman.
the extent of the backswing as well. While we have many different variations throughout all of the formation, it's definitely not uniformity of technique there. So they get aligned and they come to a halt automatically, it looks like.
The parade sergeant will now hand over the parade to the parade commander.
So I'm wondering why the sword. Now, I find this also interesting. His facing movement. I'm I'm going to guess that Australia, at least the New South Wales police, not necessarily all of Australia, but you're not going to. You've taken a little bit of a liberty in the facing movement, whereas the knee is not brought up so that the thigh then is horizontal to the ground. So the that trail foot then after count one of the facing movement is brought up on two, but just slightly, and then um, just like that. It was
Parade Commander will now order the
very
banner ensign to march on the New South Wales
much
Police Force
smaller.
banner. There is no requirement for uniformed personnel to salute during the march on. Once the banner has halted in position,
So
the
why the
band will
sword
play a
though?
musical salute. Upon the order to the banner escorts to
Police
present
and the
arms,
sword.
all uniformed
I
personnel are to salute at
I
this
don't get the
time.
connection there.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand.
Um, but as far as as far as the mounted unit and the lances, that might be a traditional throwback. So it could be that the sword was is also a traditional throwback.
It is the 100th occasion that the New South Wales Police Force banner has been paraded.
So
And
here we
today
have the
it is
banner
carried by
party coming on.
Senior Sergeant Susan Gullamire, Forensic Evidence and Technical Services Branch. The escorts to the
Let me
banner are
scroll down
Sergeant
to that.
Shane Dawes, Maitland Highway Patrol, and Senior Constable Alastair Steele, Northern Beaches Police Area Command. The New South Wales Police Force banner is held in great esteem as it represents the proud history and traditions of a force which has served the Crown, Government and people of New South Wales since 1862. The New South Wales Police Pipe Band is also under the command of Drum Major Nick Tregitis, and the Pipe Major is John Iverson.
Now, interestingly, notice her arm swing and how she has to bring it around the sword here. And you can see a little bit of a wrist movement here with left guard. So left guard has his wrist kind of flop as he brings it back, and with the swing forward, I'm not sure if his thumb's pointing up or if it's pointing to the right. So it's more angled to the right. Yeah, very loose arm swing compared to the right rifle guard here. I find it interesting that the banner party is not carrying the national. Just just an observation. Not not that anything's wrong. It's just an observation. Traditionally, if this was an American ceremony, then we would have the national flag, and then the organizational. We would call this an organizational. Now I say flag, and so some people get really ticked off when I just talk about flags. Yes, I understand this is a banner. I get it. It's not a color. It's not a flag. Actually, it is. Flag is kind of a general term. Then we can we can separate what type of flag it is. But I get it. I understand. There are specifics. similar present position. Just looking at the hands. Pointed forward, and I've not known that position to be correct. But then again, like I said, I don't know Commonwealth drill.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
Commonwealth drill to the nth degree, as I said.
We're now awaiting the arrival of the Honourable Yasmin Catley MP, Minister for Police and...
Oh, that's right. So, government representative of the Crown.
The parade will now officially welcome the Minister with a general salute.
It's all such a great learning experience for me. Plus, being able to offer my viewpoint, I really appreciate it. I'm going to look something up. Hold on just a second. All right, so she's a representative of the government, not necessarily the Crown, but honors are rendered to her.
We're now awaiting the arrival of the reviewing officer, Her Excellency, the Honourable Margaret Beazley, AC, KC, Governor of New South Wales. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand. The reviewing officer is being escorted by VIP cyclists under the command of Leading Senior Constable Mark Treffowan.
Oh, here we go. Oh, I see. Notice the escort increased.
The parade will now officially welcome the reviewing officer with a royal salute. All uniformed personnel are to salute on the command,
so,
present arms.
general salute, and now a royal salute. So it looked like formation leaders in the white gloves here were the ones
Thank
to
you, please be seated.
render the salute for their formation.
you please be seated? The parade commander will now invite the reviewing officer to inspect the parade.
So it's interesting that the parade commander didn't guide the reviewing officer, and has the sword drawn still. Again, just an observation that I would have thought that the reviewing officer would case the sword, and then instead of having the reviewing officer constantly in front, the escort officer, the commander of troops, would be in line with, and then guide the reviewing officer around. You know, we'll go down to the end of the formation instead of the mistake that was made here, which the reviewing, or the not the fault of the reviewing officer at all. Actually, I think it's a protocol issue of the fault of the commander of troops here. That's another thing I find interesting, is that the reviewing officer will stop and talk to the troops. I like it. I think it's kind of nice. Here comes Santa Claus? Am I hearing that correctly? Oh, okay. Oh, and that's nice that the motor cops were able to come back and then be part of the review. That's quite nice. We can skip ahead here a little bit. Jingle bells? So let's see what the the mounted troops here do. Well, reviewing officer is reviewing everything. are we doing here? There she is. She finished.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the New South Wales Police Academy for the Attestation Parade for members of Class 360 of the Constable Education Program. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please stand as Senior Police Chaplain, the Reverend Murray Woolnough, blesses the parade.
Oh, yeah, I read about that. So,
The Police Act provides for persons to attest by either swearing an oath of office or making an affirmation. The parade commander will now prepare the students.
so if you look at his chin height, I know that he's looking under his bill, but but he has his head quite forward and then chin up, and that's plus his shoulders are rounded forward. Just an observation. I don't play a doctor anywhere, um, but that's boy, it's terrible posture, and the neck is going to affect his hands and all that stuff. I know that from experience.
For their attestation.
So they have a Bible in their back pocket.
I now invite Commissioner Karen Webb to attest the members of Class 360. Class 360, substituting your own name for mine, repeat after me. I, Karen Leanne Webb, do swear, do solemnly, sincerely, and truly declare and affirm that I will well and truly serve our Sovereign Lord the King, his heirs and successors, according to law, as a police officer, without favour or affection, malice or ill will, until I am legally discharged. That I will cause His Majesty's peace to be kept and preserved, and that I will prevent, to the best of my power, all offences against that peace, and that I will continue to be a police officer. I will, to the best of my skill and knowledge, discharge all my duties faithfully according to law. For those saying the oath, repeat, so help me God. Thank you, ma'am. direct the newly attested probationary constables to remove their student cap bands. This will reveal their badge of office and the checkered cap band. Please withhold your applause until the probationary constables have returned to the attention position.
What a great tradition. I like that. Very appropriate. How nice.
I invite Post Officer Chief Superintendent Toby Lindsay to address the parade.
Thank you, Inspector Burke. I acknowledge and welcome our special guests for today's parade. Her Excellency, the Honourable Margaret Beasley, AC, KC, Governor of New South Wales, the Honourable Yasmin Catley, MP, Minister for Police and Counter-Terrorism, Mr Edmund Atalla, MP,
I want to show you something. So at the bottom of the lances, there. So at the bottom of the lance, that's called a ferrule, and it's this ferrule. It's the same thing. It's a lance. A lance and a pike are essentially two different weapons, but more or less the same thing. And they had the spear end, but or another type of end, and then to keep the wood from splitting, metal ferrules were attached. And so that is those are the metal ferrules that we have on the ends of our similar, not exactly, but very similar, on the ends of our flagstaffs.
Ladies and gentlemen, the banner party will march past at the centre of the parade. As the banner passes your immediate front, please stand, and uniformed personnel are to salute. Once the banner has passed you, please return to your seat.
Saluting just the organizational, it's tradition that you have. I find it odd, but okay. So it's the same tradition that we have to march the colors in the center of the formation. Colors don't lead. Colors are protected by troops in the front and troops in the back. So it's more of a tradition, uh, and the tradition comes from a logical uh, a logical how what do I want to say logical protection for the colors. And it's interesting, you know, we march in column formation. They're marching in column formation, but we militaries around the world mostly in the last say 400 years would fight in line formation. You'd get into position in column formation and then turn and you'd fight that way, where we'd all stand across from each other and shoot. And oh, I thought somebody was taken out of the formation. Somebody at the medical tent there, and not long after the parade began too. So they've hit that pass and review. They come back to line up.
The parade will now advance in review order. Please stand. All uniformed personnel are to salute for the Royal Salute.
That has to be so impressive to sit in the stands and have the entire parade marching to you.
Probationary Constable Deirdre Potter.
Oh, so next awards. All right, so I saw something else. So let's watch the there. Now watch the mark time of the two guards. Left guard. You see how he's bringing his whole foot up and then his whole foot back down like that. Bringing it forward as well, bringing the ankle forward. Whereas he is allowing his toe to leave last and toe to strike first. Oh, that was
It is
very quick.
customary for police.
Yeah, very different, completely different mark time techniques. So the one is doing this kind of thing, bringing that ankle forward, and then on the left here, and then on the right, he's bringing his ankle up. More of what the American technique is. And again, you know,
It is customary for police officers
I'm
with
not
long and
completely
distinguished careers
intimate with Commonwealth drill.
Senior Sergeant Peter Davis, APM. Senior Sergeant Peter Davis attested on the 9th of April 1984. The parade commander will now hand the parade back to the parade sergeant, who will dismiss the class. Congratulations, Class 360. We welcome you all to the New South Wales Police Force. When the class is dismissed, you are all invited to celebrate with them on the parade ground until requested to vacate. Thank you and good morning.
Until requested to vacate. All right, enough celebrating. Scram. But we will ask you politely to scram. Come on, camera operators. There we go. That's it. So he turned around with the usual about face. And there they go. And I read that in the order. That was cool. So the parade sergeant turned around with the usual about face, but the officer didn't. Used a very different technique. Again, just an observation. Um, well, I hope that 44 minutes of my commentary was worth it out of that hour and a half, just about. All right. Thanks for watching. If you stuck with it to here, then awesome job. Thank you.